All right, so 3.5 inches of lift total in the front, 3 1/4 in the rear, just about. Obviously, we have coil spacers, so these rock crawler 3.5 inch. Yes, they are for a JKU. You know, obviously, if you were to get 3.5 inch coils for a JKU, it would be 2.5 inches for a 2-door. Rock crawler is known for having a rake where the Jeep kind of like nosedives a little bit. So I think I'm going to leave the rear probably just like with a 3 1/4 inch coil spacer, maybe not even any, just because the rear will probably sit at about 4 inches or so anyway. But the front is definitely going to need some type of leveling coil spacer, probably just a 1 inch. That is very common. That's what we had on Big Sauce as well. A lot of you guys probably do like this height. It does look pretty good, but pretty much the vision of the Jeep in the beginning was to kind of have a similar setup to Glade, where we had these 37 by 13.5 tires, a pretty large 37. So we really wanted to have some good stance. Alright, as you guys saw, I just jumped the jack. This is 3.5 inch rock crawler coils with 1 inch coil spacers, Terraflex. You guys can see that 3.5, whatever that coil spacer added up to, that was in there previously. It's already sitting on its own weight. As you guys can tell, this thing is pretty high. You can see the axle and everything. I'm gonna chop off a crash bar as soon as I get a chance, probably on my next off day. But as you guys can see, I do still have the stock track bar, and as you can see, it needs to be about another inch longer to match up with that bolt right there. Obviously that is temporary. I have to find an adjustable track bar, and I need to do something about the control arms, either get some brackets temporarily or adjustable arms. But the coil part of this is done. This thing sits a lot higher. You guys can really tell a difference, or at least I can, even on camera. So the rear is finally done. You guys can see how much higher it sits. I might need to get some shock extensions for the rear, just so I can make sure I have enough flex. But alrighty, so I'm gonna show you guys what I'm seeing for the first time. Kind of looking at it from the side. Yeah, that is definitely really high. That is alrighty guys, so it is now done. Front and rear springs are in. So as you guys know, currently, right now, we do have temporary setup with the front track bar. We really need a flip steer kit. The rear should be pretty much okay so far as shocks and everything like that. Could definitely use some longer brake lines, but these should work for a little bit. Track bar bracket is assessed. Everything is pretty much good to go. As you can see, we don't have the most down travel left. Some shock extensions would definitely take care of that and would definitely work properly. We do have longer sway bar links that we will be installing just to bring the sway bar back up. These are just temporary, just for today. Got the steering stabilizer relocated with the track bar bracket. Give you guys a better look at that. That was just a track bar bracket off of Amazon. It does a really good job relocating the steering stabilizer up and out of the way. Plus you can see it really good. This Jeep will not be going on the interstate until we can take care of the control arms to fix the caster angle and also front adjustable track bar. Alrighty guys, so she is lifted now 4.5 inches front and rear. The front, since the rock crawler coils are known to have a rake, those do have the Terraflex 1-inch coil spacers up there still. Might swap that out for a 3/4 inch just to drop it a hair, just to kind of have some little bit better handling and all that. But yeah, this is around 4.5 inches of lift, front and rear. Obviously, because the rear has no weight in the back. Usually 3.5 inches in the rear sits a lot higher just because of the weight issue. So I'm gonna be cutting the crash bar, this piece right here, off today. So that's gonna be coming off just because I want to prepare for my new bumper eventually. Not going to be coming anytime soon, but definitely coming in the near future. Just want to go ahead and clean up this area right here so I can have a little bit more clearance, see my front axle a lot better. So I'm going to go ahead and start with disconnecting these little plastic clips right here. Just going to be using a pair of wire cutters. Get these Christmas trees out so I can get all this fog light wiring up and out of the way, tucked away, so that way nothing gets cut during the process. Just gonna tuck pretty much everything back behind this vacuum pump. Just for now, once the crash bar is gone, I'm gonna be zip tying all of this wiring up and out of the way somewhere else. But I do want to keep this bracket in to hold this up for now. So I might just end up chopping it down here.